Welcome to the Connected Leaders Academy virtual conference designed to reshape your vision of transformation. As we navigate the evolving business landscape, our speakers will unveil innovative strategies to manage and initiate change. Prepare to adapt, innovate, and lead, ensuring your role in this transformative era.
Brilliance is an ability of an individual to be able to think, act, even express themselves with exceptional clarity, insight, and even originality. That's what brilliance really is. And in leadership, it's having vision, emotional intelligence, the ability to inspire people beyond the immediate success, beyond the profit line. I'm Yvette Owens, and my intention, my mission, my intentional mission is to inspire leaders to lead with brilliance. I know so well that there are times when there are voices, there are situations that quiet our ability to be brilliant. Now, brilliance isn't the same as being good or being great, it's above that. We are created as masterpieces. And in God creating us as masterpieces, it's our obligation to show up in brilliance. And I can attest to when we just aren't doing that. And the statistics show that many leaders aren't showing up in all their brilliance. Let me share an instance with you that will help this resonate with you. I attended a leadership conference. Yes, I believe in continuous learning and sharing among my peers. So I attended this leadership conference, and entering into the main conference space, I met an individual who we had connected online, and it was great to be able to connect in person. We shared encouragement with what we see each other doing and things like that. But before I left his presence, he asked me, could he encourage me even the more? Well, I was elated because, to be honest with you, on my travel to that conference, I had to really work to get my head in the game. So remember, brilliance is not the same as good. It's not the same as great. You can be successful, you can help people, but is there more in you that is really crying out to be released? So that you can have more innovation, more creativity. You can get to the deeper depths of things so you have a lasting impact. So, as he encouraged me, it was really the boost I needed to start that conference. Fast forward to after his speech, we were sitting together and we were sharing um, insights and things that I had gotten from what he said. And he just looked at me with a really complex look and asked me this question: who stole your confidence? I was like, what? He said, who stole your confidence? And to be honest, at that moment, I didn't have an answer for him. I could tell him of names, serial numbers, and phone numbers of people who had taken advantage of the fact that my confidence was diminished. But he was talking about me walking in my divine confidence, the confidence that was to accompany the masterpiece that I'm supposed to show up to becoming and to show up as in this world, as a leader, as a contributor. He asked me that question. Now, when I heard that question, it resonated within me that also a peer had asked me that question before. This peer was in ministry. You see, I have been leading throughout my entire adulthood in business, ministry, and community. Leadership has to be strong in all of those areas, and we all, I mean all, have the ability to be greater than great, which means showing up in our brilliance. So my mission again is to help leaders to become brilliant leaders. So not only that they leave an impact that far exceeds and goes beyond their time here and their profit line, but it also feeds the next generation. and it inspires others to do the same. Yes, there are voices, there are situations that say we can't do that, they reject your ideas, all of those things contribute to your brilliance being dim. Confidence and brilliance are absolutely connected. And when you have people saying you can't, when you say you can't because of the fact that people are saying that idea is not going to ever work, we're not ready for it, and that when they are going to be ready for it, it never comes around. And so your heart becomes sick because the hope that you had and the things that you have inside of you that is waiting to be released have been locked up within you, and you have to carry that around. Well, today I'm here to unlock your leadership brilliance. And this is just so we know that this is not just a personal development conversation. It is absolutely impacting organizations around the globe. Can I tell you that the majority of leaders, statistics show that the majority of leaders are not sure of what their purpose is in their business, in their leadership role. There's 12% of companies, only 12%, that are sure that are clearly and definitely confident that their leadership bench can take them into the next dimension or the next place for that organization. That means that there is a huge deficit, a huge gap, if you will, in leaders in those organizations that can really bring the organization to the next level, to meet the client's evolving needs, to be able to meet the needs of the workers coming in with the various different dynamics and credibility and lifestyles that are coming in. There is a gap because only 12% of companies have the confidence in their leadership bench. There is 23% of organizations that are really not sure or confident that their leaders can take us to the meeting the changes of our evolving economy and society and meeting the needs of the technology needs that we have. The technology advancements, what are we talking about? Our educational systems need to be revamped. Our food and water, we need better ways of ensuring that we're giving people wholesome and food and water, clear water that is not going to kill them, but to allow them to live. We need leaders that can take our entertainment to a whole nother level that is wholesome for families around the globe. We need leaders to be innovative, have ingenuity, to be able to take us far beyond where we are right now. The world is hungry for those leaders to step forward. And so I am going to invite you, I am inviting you to this challenge, to this walk of leadership brilliance. Can we show up and raise the standard of our leadership performance to one of brilliancy? And you might be saying, what is that? Remember, brilliancy is the ability to be an individual, to be able to act, think, and express with exceptional clarity, insight, and originality. And from a leadership perspective, again, it is having vision, emotional intelligence, and the ability to inspire others. The standard, I'm challenging each of us as leaders, the standard must be brilliancy. So I wanted to share with you in the time that I have that what are those 7 keys that can unlock the brilliancy that's within us? Because it is in us. Greatness and brilliancy is not just for a few leaders, men and women that we see that are highlighted. It is a requirement, and it is in each of us to show up, because we're leading our families, we're leading in our communities, we're leading in our ministries, we're leading in our businesses. I know I'm not the only one that has been charged or assigned from a divine perspective to lead in all of those components. Let's make the standard brilliancy. So how do you unlock that? First and foremost, we have to have visionary thinking. Visionary thinking means I'm inspiring people beyond the profit line. I'm inspiring them, and the way I inspire them is to get to know them, understand where they feel that they need to go, what's inside of them that they need to unlock. How can I help nurture and prepare the way for them to reach their goals, to show up strong in their goals, to give critical insight and abilities and pave the way for them to be able to connect with those who will help. And the vision has to be clear, because we're all working towards something, a shared focus, a shared goal. And so we must first have that visionary thinking, being very clear on what the vision is. Where are we going? Why are we going there? And how we're going to get there. And then being able to reinforce it. And can I tell you, reinforcing is so important, because as other ideas come, as people chime in, as you realize and discover other aspects of that vision, you can easily get sidetracked or go down a road that really wasn't the intent. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to enhance the vision and discover all that it can be, because you're allowing collaboration. But we need to have focus on what that vision is. So have visionary thinking. As a leader, I'm not just thinking about this task, this assignment, these people, but where do we want to go? Who do I need to engage? Number two, I need to have a triad transformation part of thinking process. What does that entail? Having emotional intelligence, having integrity and ethical thinking and leadership, and effective communication. Let's talk about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence means that I'm aware of myself and how I'm able to manage myself. I'm aware of my surroundings and I'm able to manage those surroundings. And I'm able to critically think in the moment. Now, the two people that said to me, "Who stole your confidence? Where did it go?" They saw something in me and they were aware of their surroundings. They were socially responsible enough to say, "Yvette, something's off. Yeah, you might be making some success. Yeah, you might be able to impact some people's lives, but you have so much more that you need to do. And something has capped it, something has squashed it, and you need to figure out what that is." So, what did I do? I started to really evaluate, what is it that I'm supposed to do? Who am I supposed to reach? Who am I supposed to help? And in what capacity? Not trying to be everything to everyone, but again, getting back to that vision. So I had to become self aware. Why was I allowing people who had limited thinking to limit my thinking and not depend on the divine, my creator, the one who made me a masterpiece, not tapping into what he wants for me and what he wants me to do. So I had to be more emotional intelligent. What was causing me to say yes to those things were not healthy? What was causing me to say yes to people who were not healthy? Building back that emotional intelligence and integrity and ethical. Being my yes being yes and my no being no. And being okay with that, because no is still a complete sentence. And then being able to effectively communicate. Now, once I'm stable and understand the vision and where it's going, who it's going to, and why, I'm able to now share with others, this is my vision. My vision is to increase the effectiveness of leaders across the globe, whether they be in business, ministry, or communication. Or community. My vision is to help leaders become better leaders so that their people can also untap what's inside of them, so they can learn more and be stretched and not run away from being stretched. not run away from those hard assignments, because can I tell you that it's been in each of those hard assignments where I've grown the most. It's in those places where leadership wasn't in place for me as they should have been, or they were really saying, keep doing what you're doing, but not helping me to go beyond what I was doing. Because when you have brilliance locked inside of you, keep doing what you're doing is not enough. It's not enough. It's not going to get you where you are supposed to be as that masterpiece. It is a journey of continuous learning. So the best way to learn is step number 3, mentorship. How do I mentor? Who can I show the way? Who can I encourage along the way? Who can I help bring out their best? That's alongside me. I had a business analyst that was working with me, and I knew I was starting to transition out of corporate. And I wanted this young lady to be the absolute best that she could. So when we hired her, I said to the hiring team, yeah, I want her. I want her because I saw so much potential in who she was and what she had brought to the table, and based on her past experience, but most importantly, based on her character. And so, as I began to transition out of that space, I said to her, I'm going to prepare you to be either able to take my position, or you can get even a more senior business analyst position. But I want to leave you in the best place that you can be. So we did mock presentations. I helped her walk through some of the tasks that I had to do so that she would know what it feels like to be in my space and to make the decisions and to understand why I was making the decisions that I was making. I literally took opportunities to put her in front of my leadership so that they could see her abilities and see her shine. We talked afterwards. We had those coaching moments afterwards. Mentorship is critical to inspiring people to their brilliance. Even the teams that I was working with, knowing that they had work behind them, I positioned them in a space and a place where they could continue, and they knew how to move forward while their new leadership was getting in place. Mentorship is a part of success. That's what you call succession planning. Actually getting your hands in there, not just naming people, but literally preparing them for where they need to go. Number 4, embrace innovation and continuous learning. Now, the conference that I mentioned, where I met this gentleman who shared with me that you've not been fulfilling all that you're supposed to be fulfilling, was literally a leadership conference. So I am one who is not afraid, nor do I neglect investing in me and my skills so I can show up to be the best I can for the people who are following me, for the people who signed up to join the vision that I'm in and I'm building. We have to be open, and not just open to other experts, but many other learnings that I received are being open to the collaboration that I have with my team. When I set up my teams, I always say, you can count on me to remove roadblocks. You can count on to me to bring the information that you need to make informed, critical decisions. You can count on me representing you to other areas and other leaders so that they know what our collective work is. But I'm counting on each of your expertise to help us to fulfill this mission, this assignment. And there is continuous learning in seeing how someone else operates, see how they think about doing and what they do best, how they experience and their world and navigate their challenges. There is continuous learning in that. That's number 4, embrace innovation. Because when we start to exchange ideas and we share our challenges or we share how our thought processes, collectively, we become greater than what we can individually. Number 5, resiliency and adaptability. Change and challenges come. And when change and challenge comes, it proves out who is really ready for the challenge? Who's really ready to answer and adapt to the situation and come out on top? That's what we want, to come out on top. I had a team and we were actually developing an application for a client and a customer. And then all of a sudden, our resources started drying up. Information to the team started not coming to us as quickly as we needed to, even when we asked for information. And this was the kicker. We had our customers saying, I think something's happening in your area because we're starting to get messages that this project might be shutting down. Well, we had committed with authorization to meet certain needs for that client. And we were absolutely committed as a team to not go out defeated, not to go out losing our credibility or reputation as one not fulfilling what we promised, again, with approval of our leadership, who now seem to have made a shift. We supported that client as best we can. Our teammates who were developers, they went out and learned about software. They went out and did all that they could to really be able to make that project successful. That's resilience, and that's adapting to the changes. And then relationship and building and networking, amplifying those influences that we can make and meeting those people along the way that can help us to unlock that brilliancy. Relationship building helps us to be able to learn other people's capabilities and how can some of those, what they do, translate into my world. And then finally, social responsibility. Our brilliancy comes from those first 6 things, but socially responsible. How are we really helping our communities? Those clients in the marketplace, how are we really help them to achieve their goal and live beyond the profit, be great to people beyond the profitability? My challenge to you, once again, as leaders, let's create communities, let's create teams globally. Let's become and live and hold up a standard of brilliancy. Let's be brilliant in all that we do. Let's thrive in brilliancy by taking vision, by being visionary thinkers, being transformational leaders, mentoring and having success, have succession plans, embracing innovation and continuous learning, resiliency and adaptability, building strong, healthy relationships, and being socially responsible. You can reach me on my website at www.destinyspeak.com. And I hope you also take on this challenge of being a brilliant leader, not just good, not just great, but unlocking what's inside of you, quieting and ignoring those voices that said you can't or you won't, even if it's your voice. Release your voice, release your capability, release your mind, and be brilliant in everything you do, consistently, always.
Thank you for participating in today's enlightening session. As we transition to our next expert, remember that each strategy and insight is a step toward becoming a transformative leader in your field. Visit connectedleadersacademy.com to stay engaged and informed. The journey of change is ongoing. Let's move forward together.